Legend of Total War here, and today we've got a Rating Your Doomstack video playing Total War Shogun 2 Fall of the Samurai as the Saga Imperial Vanguard, where this Doomstack is way more balanced than the previous one that was sent in. That one was just entirely like Armstrong guns and Gatling guns, where this one here has got a bit of everything. You got obviously the Armstrong guns, the Gatling guns, but fewer of them. Imperial Guard Infantry, Royal Marines, and Imperial Guard Cavalry. Going up against 4 full stacks here. Way lower tier units, but they've got cavalry superiority, which is a little bit of a danger to Gatling guns, which I'll get into in a little bit. Now, he said in the email that this army here basically auto-resolve wins against everything, and that he struggled to go up against anything that would have like a balance of power that just wasn't that favorable. So this is a super strong auto-resolve army. But let's see how it performs on the battlefield on manually. So this is turn 235. I think that's important to note. Now, while I think you could probably build these units, build this army way sooner than that, I think what he wanted to do was just like max out his daimyo, max out the foreign veterans that are attached to his army as well, to really showcase just the absolute highest numbers, I suppose, that this army can get. Because if we have a look here, we got 1,000 shots on the Gatling guns. We got 86 reload skill, 137 accuracy on the Imperial Guard Infantry. On the Royal Marines, it's even higher. Those are really deadly, those ones. Okay, so fairly flat terrain, but I can see here this is a bit bumpy. So there's a bit of a hill here. Now, because it's not a disaster battle, I don't want this to be a rating your hill situation. Like, for example, the previous battle needed to use the hill very well. This one here, I'm going to avoid using the hill. We just want to see how this performs on a flat terrain. Now, flat terrain is not ideal. Wherever you are fighting, you should always try, especially this kind of army, utilize a hill. Makes this sort of army way more effective. But we're not using that in this situation. Okay. So, Gatling guns. I've always found that spamming Gatling guns is not ideal, because there's a lot that can go wrong with Gatling guns. This is a unit that can potentially cause a lot of friendly fire, requires a fair amount of babysitting, doesn't necessarily get as many kills as Armstrong guns, doesn't have as much range as Armstrong guns. They cost more in upkeep cost, but people get them because of the cool factor and the DPS factor. But in my opinion, I usually don't recruit these into my army. Even in the late stage of the campaign, there's really nothing that these guys have an advantage of that the Armstrong guns can't do at like more reliability and ease of use at a cheaper cost as well. But like I said, they're a cool unit, so they're attached to this army. Let's use them. Because yeah, the Gatling guns, even though it's got like 1,000 shots, if both of these units use up their ammunition and just like let them fire at will, usually the Armstrong gun will inflict more casualties, usually. Okay, so if you set them up like this, I feel like you're setting them up to fail, because it creates a huge weakness for the enemy to charge in on. You really don't want to set up your infantry in front of your Gatling guns, because that's a great way to get them shot. Unless, of course, you've got a hill, which we don't have here. Now, you can do that with the Armstrong guns, because they can shoot shots over the infantry. But yeah, you don't want to be shooting with the Armstrong guns. If they're about here, you will get friendly fire. So you want to shoot at the faraway targets. But because they've got so much range, you get so much time to shoot. And if there's reinforcements coming in, just shoot at the enemy reinforcements. Okay. So we don't want to do this. Let's just move them back. What I usually like to do with Armstrong guns is try to disperse them in among the infantry like this. While you're in the deployment phase, if you control click them in a specific order, they will show up in that order when you click and drag. Now, we also don't really want to go that wide. Now, that's a little bit of a disadvantage for these infantry here, because the wider they go, basically the better their fire rate. But the wider we go, the more opportunity the enemy cavalry is going to have to charge around. It's going to be more difficult for us to react to it. So I want to go like not too wide, something like that. Because if we go too wide as well, then we'll be deployed in this area here, and it's not an ideal spot. Alright, I reckon we'll put 2 units of of the Royal Marines there, and the other 3 on this flank here, because we need to prepare for a cavalry charge. The cavalry charge could really, there's multiple things it could do. It could come around the flank and try to get us, or it could charge in from like an angle and charge in at the Gatling guns. Either way, we need to be ready for it. Now, with the infantry here, I want to move them up just a little bit. What this does, it makes it easier to react to a cavalry charge. And also, when the enemy infantry get in range, if they're at the same alignment with the Gatling guns, the enemy infantry will shoot at the Gatling guns, which they don't have as much health, and they're way more valuable, so we don't want them taking casualties. If you do it this way, then they stop and shoot at the Imperial Guard infantry, leaving your Gatling guns free to fire. The downside of doing this is that if your Gatling gun is, for example, firing in that direction, you can see here that there will be a bit of overlap. So there are downsides either way. But what we need to do here is try to babysit our Gatling guns as much as possible so that they are firing... Hang on, what am I doing that for? So that they're firing basically straight ahead. Only ever straight ahead. It's too bad you can't, like, narrow the line of sight deliberately. But we've got to protect our Gatling guns. Like I said, really good unit, but kind of way more vulnerable than Armstrong guns, in my opinion. Okay. Now, with the Imperial Guard cavalry, we could send them out to go and harass the enemy forces, but because the enemy have so many fast cavalry, it's not going to be worth it, because they'll catch up to us, and even if these guys here wipe out a cavalry unit each, not worth it because these are higher value units, and trading off an Imperial Guard cavalry for a Yari key is dumb. But what you can do with these guys is, since the enemy, well, the AI tends to throw away their cavalry early, you can set these guys up behind your infantry, like this, and they're not obstructed at all. So you've got a really good field of fire, assuming the enemy cavalry go through this way, which we'll have to adjust. If they go around the other way, then I'll move them around that way. So these guys here can be very useful for plugging in weaknesses that the AI is trying to make use of. Also, another thing, by going tighter, it allows you to activate gun butter and affect more units. So there's always strengths and weaknesses to any formation. You've just got to weigh up your options.
The men are ready to attack, sir.
Okay. So over here, I wanted to make a bit more of an adjustment. Alright, put all of these guys in guard mode. Don't think we need any control groups, because it's not micro-intensive to use. Okay. Alright, enemy reinforcements coming in from here. Yeah, loads of cavalry coming in. I'm not at all concerned about the enemy infantry. In fact, I'm not concerned at all about losing the battle. What I'm concerned about is the cavalry charging in and dishing out a lot of damage. Because you want these armies to walk out of it without units getting wiped out. And the thing is, with a Gatling gun unit, if a Yariki charges in, it only takes a couple of seconds for them to wipe out the full unit, which is why you have to try to prevent that from happening in the first place.
Emperor's finest ready. Sweep them from the field.
Okay. Alright, let's put these guys in kneel fire. Oh, hang on, that one there wasn't quite aligned, but I just need to fix that back up, whatever. Yeah, you gotta wait for them to stop moving before you hit that. Okay, there we go. Alright, now with our Armstrong guns, really important that we're aiming at the enemy cavalry, because like I said, their infantry are so inferior to ours that I'm not even worried about them. I'm only worried about the cavalry. That's it. Try to shoot in this gap here. Don't use this stuff just yet. That's it. Good, getting hits on the Yari key. And that way they're sort of walking into the firing at the ground, because it's way more accurate to shoot at the ground than it is selecting a unit to shoot, which is kind of frustrating. Because, yeah, they tend to just aim at the flank of the unit. So doing a bit of damage there. Good, that's what we want to see. Okay, maybe chuck a gun butter in there. Make them fire faster. Cool, that one's almost gone. Don't need to wipe it out completely, but just make it so that a single volley will make it break. Because, yeah, cavalry are complete glass cannons, but they can fuck up your artillery if you let them. I don't think that one's going to do anything. Alright, it looks like they want to send an attack that way. Alright, move these guys back around this way over to here. Let's get over here. That is not going to do anything. No, no. See, that's what I'm talking about with the friendly fire. Shoot over there. No. Oh my god. No, god damn it. Stop it. Okay, come on. Move these guys up. Okay, no, don't you bother shooting. Actually, just tell them to stop and just fire at whatever. No. Alright, cool. That's the cavalry dealt with. I need to readjust here, or else the Gatling guns are just going to keep inflicting a lot of friendly fire. Just adjust a little bit. Careful.
Your men have killed their general,
Great.
sir.
Come on, adjust. Okay, the Gatling guns now fire, but if you cause any friendly fire, I'm going to be pissed. Okay, this one here. Adjust a little bit. Fire forward. That's it. Looks like the cavalry actually hit us on the side here, but that's okay as long as I didn't get to the artillery. Everything's okay. It's fine. Okay, now the cavalry need to adjust around to... No, we got enemy forces coming up this way as well. Okay, time for gun butter. Go. Back off a little bit here. Move back. You shoot at that. Just get out of their way. Good. I don't think we're inflicting too much friendly fire now, which is great. That one's actually fucking ran the wrong way. Come on. Shoot that. Move back. Don't let them charge in on us. Okay, artillery. Shoot over here. Yeah, you need to fucking shoot right now.
Okay. Your general is under attack.
Where are you going? Get back. Okay, only a little bit of damage done on that one. That's okay. We're going over here. Alright, these ones readjust out this way. The enemy cavalry's all gone now, so these ones can come around the flanks and harass the enemy infantry. Okay, go a little bit wider there if you wouldn't mind. Good. Really just babysit these guys here to make sure we're not inflicting friendly fire. So far, so good. So what do we got here? Katana Kachi. Okay, that's easy. Good. Yeah, once you've gotten rid of the enemy cavalry, then send out your guys. Now, they had 4 full stacks, so I don't think it's over just yet. So we've defeated 2 full stacks so far. Alright. Yeah, good numbers of kills on these guys. Really quite minimal friendly fire. It's always nice. Oh, right. Let's go take out the enemy cannons. Now that we've taken out all the cavalry, we can have the dominance of the battlefield now. Try to zigzag on the way there. Don't be a Rick on Stark. So that it just reduces their chance of hitting us. But yeah, it was a little bit dicey there at the start. Like I said, these guys can be really finicky because they were inflicting just a tiny little bit of friendly fire. We obviously want to try to prevent that. Also, you don't really want these guys standing right next to each other when they're shooting, because sometimes they'll inflict friendly fire. Got plenty of ammo, don't have to worry about that. Try to dodge the shots if possible. Luckily, the wooden cannons are super easy. Their shots don't really explode the same way that the other ones do. Good. There's still another wooden cannon over here. Yeah, that one's shooting as well. Okay. Oh, that actually did a fair bit of damage. What's this? Levy infantry. Okay. Try to move around where possible, just make it harder for them to shoot us. Now, the Levy infantry shooting at us shouldn't be that big of a deal. Ah, that's a nice hill. Shouldn't have to worry too much about Levy infantry firing back at you. Their accuracy is so bad, they're not really going to get a lot of kills. Yeah, so they'll get a few, but nothing spectacular. Their morale is shit. I really want to get at these freaking artillery, but they're stopping me here. Getting good kills with them? Yep, getting decent kills. On shit units. Now, we really didn't need to do this either, but the other option was just basically sitting around doing nothing. Oh, crap. They're coming at us over here as well. Plus, it's distracting a bunch of their units, bringing them around this way, which is just going to make their attack on our front really limp dick. They're not going to do anything. So over here, yeah, just let them shoot at whatever they want. It's all good. Alright, yeah, I'm just struggling to get at that artillery while their reinforcements are coming in. So let's stay back from it. Let's harass more over this way, because that's pretty far back. All I'm doing is getting my cavalry killed. How are these guys going for kills? Yep, average about 400. If we have a look at the Gatling guns, that one there did exceptionally well, but I'd say on average the Armstrong guns have killed more men. Like I said, they're easier to use, more reliable. This is why you usually don't get Gatling guns. They're definitely cool units, don't get me wrong. Now, I don't like what you're doing there. You're going to get friendly fire if you're not careful. So with this spear and spear, yep, you can shoot at that. These guys have barely used up any of their ammo. Cool. Okay, and nope. I don't think it's really important to use kill zone on them. Oh yeah, there's another thing that happens with cavalry. Because the backline shoots, sometimes if they're firing at an angle, they can actually end up shooting a unit that's next to it. So try to keep a bit of a gap in between your cav. Man, look at this field here. Absolute slaughterhouse. Yeah, it looks like friendly fire was an absolute minimum there with this formation. But you really got to keep an eye on it, because it can be embarrassing to kill your own units. Gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, though. How are these guys going for kills? They've barely used up any of their ammo, and they've got heaps of kills. They've got so much killing potential, these guys. And there's the army losses. So, having a look at them. Yeah, good numbers of kills on the Gatling guns, especially that one. I think that used up all of its ammo. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, that used up all of its ammo. These ones here. Wait, that one almost got as many kills, and it hasn't used up all of its ammo yet. And they've all done a similar amount of kills. So if I had to guess there, I would... I'd say that the Armstrong guns got more kills than the Gatling guns. And there's still some ammo left over, on average. Cool. So I think that went pretty well. Army's not particularly damaged. Let's have a look at the kill to death ratio. So we only lost 132 men and killed 7,000 of theirs. I reckon if I had hit end battle right when it showed up, I probably would have gotten a few extra 1,000 kills. But I wanted to check what their kills were like first. If we have a look at these kills here, they probably weren't adjudicating that much extra kills, were they? Because they didn't hit end battle straight away. Yeah. Okay, so in rating this one, it's obviously stupidly strong. Is that like the same thing again?
Yes, my lord.
Similar. It's very strong that it can take on 4 full stacks, but that being said, those were not exactly the cream of the crop. That's not the best stuff that you could possibly go up against. That being said, even if the enemy had brought nothing but, say, if they had spammed Imperial Guard infantry instead of Levy infantry, it probably wouldn't have made any real difference. The only thing that would have made any difference was if they had brought tons of like Parrot guns or Armstrong guns, or if they had brought more cavalry, because the more cavalry that came at us, then it would have been more stressful dealing with it, especially with the Gatling gun vulnerability. But we got through it in that particular engagement. Overall, I'd pretty much rate this a 10 out of 10. It's practically unbeatable in a fair fight. You get to this point in the late stage Total War games where you can build these armies that just can't be beaten. It's not completely unbeatable. You definitely could get into a situation where you could lose the battle, so it's not completely invincible. You're not going to get this in the early stage of the campaign. Obviously, you got 2 foreign veterans in there providing extra ammunition and various bonuses for your infantry. You'll have to go look into it, which I don't really care that much. Your generals, or your daimyo actually, is max level out. All of these units here, you're not going to get access to them in the early stage of the campaign. The earliest one you can actually get access to is actually the Armstrong gun. You actually get them very early on because the tech for that is just there. And then you really could just get line infantry and it would work just fine. But Imperial Guard infantry or the respective whatever allegiance you go to, these really are a cut above. Lots of extra accuracy, faster reload, that does make a big difference. But effectively you can make a similar army to this using lower tier units that would be very effective in the early stage of the campaign. Anyway, that's the end of this one. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this army, whether you think it's good, whether you think it's bad. It's pretty balanced, I think, but you guys let me know what you think. Anyway, that's the end of this one. Oh my god, look at that money. Holy crap. Anyway, that's the end of this one. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time. Later, guys.